join friends, family, brothers and sisters in the raw. RK's Guyana Free Media, and I'm your host, your friend, your brother, Haji Dr. Roshan. Today is the 1st of December of this recording, but this is taken from the Guyana Chronicle, the 30th of November 2021, Tuesday. I wish to just applaud our pleasant, brilliant, dynamic government of Guyana, the cabinet, Vice President Dr. Barajak, Prime Minister, Honorable, most respected retired Brigadier Mark Phillips, His Excellency President Dr. Irfan Ali, and the entire cabinet for all the wonderful things that they have been doing to bring harmony, love, and development into every community of this country, where every group, every town, every village in the hinterland, in the interior, the coastal belt, in the villages and the townships, wherever there are people living, the government of Guyana is lending support. This government of 2020, I feel so very proud. But also, this government of Guyana is recognized by the entire world, ladies and gentlemen. What a proud thing for us of Guyana, and the blessings and joy that we have this democratic government looking after our oil and gas, developing our country. And we know oil and gas, wealth and money are in good hands with Honorable Dr. Ashley Singh, managing the finance. The same goes for oil and gas under Vikram Bharat, Honorable Minister, and the development of humanity or human development under Dr. Honorable Vindhya Vasini Prasad, and under our Honorable Minister Priya Manik Chand in education development of our people. We are a very blessed people. Our mighty Minister of Health, Honorable Frank Anthony, our Attorney General, and all of you guys there. Don't get jealous now that Roshan Khan is not mentioning your name. Next time. Smart hospitals. Do you recall that a few years before the government came out of power in 2015, they were working to put up smart hospital, at least one also, so smart that it will become like a tourist attraction, working with India and maybe some other countries to develop this hospital and to create the opportunity as a tourism hospital where people will come with their families and they will pay their necessaries, and the government of Guyana will put them into a strategic tourist area or a home. And when they are taken care of, they will be put to heal, rest, recuperate at a tourist site. Something that is done very well in Thailand, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, brothers and sisters. This is the wisdom and the vision of the government of Guyana. Now let us see. So when the APNO got into power, typically like Amelia Falls, hydroelectric, they destroyed it. They destroyed it, ladies and gentlemen. Even with the one-seat majority that the opposition had. The AFC, and you must remember that, ladies and gentlemen, you must remember Ramjatan and Moses Nagamoto, and the entire group there, that they caused us not to have hydro. So we must never forget what the AFC did to this country, voting with the major opposition at that time, the PNC, to destroy Amelia. Ladies and gentlemen, you would have had hydro today. And I was saying, before we got blackout, that it was the brains of President then, Dr. Barajak Dale. Then it went over to President Ramota. And he was so excited and was working viciously to have it achieved. And then the APNO or the PNC with the AFC demolished. You and I would have had electricity at 50% or less reduced prices today. So you must remember the PLC or the APNO, and you must remember particularly Ramjitan and the whole horde of the AFC, ladies and gentlemen. So also with the smart hospital, there was the vision of President then, Dr. Mara Jagdeo, and then went on to to President Ramotar of the PPPC government. They also sabotaged that. Now, we have the new government, progressive, dynamic by name, nature, by creed, by the DNA, by the bloodline, progressive, dynamic, honest, powerful, dedicated, smart hospitals. Let us see what they are saying here. The Ministry of Health is in the process of upgrading a number of health facilities to what it described as smart hospitals. This is taken from the editorial of the 30th of November, which is Tuesday, yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, the day before my recording. 4 public health institutions have been identified to be upgraded to the status of smart hospitals. So, what is a smart hospital? Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, I have to get into it. These are the Diamond Diagnostic Center, the Lenora Diagnostic Center, the Mabaruma Regional Hospital, and the Paramakatoy Health Center. The projects are being done in partnership with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, and the United Kingdom Department for International Development, DFID, which is providing technical financial support. A sum of US $4 million, 1.175 million has been allocated by the British government to upgrade the restructuring process. We have to say thank you to the United Kingdom, even though they were our colonial masters and at one time very cruel. The fact remains that the United Kingdom is working to help and to support us here in Guyana, and we have to appreciate UK for that. The Smart Hospital initiative is not unique to Guyana, and has already been implemented in several Caribbean countries and in Latin America. It has already demonstrated its cost effectiveness and resilience. Now, for those of you who don't understand what is resilience, it is if there is difficulty, they can still subsist or exist. For example, you are resilient if you fall down in life, or you fall down because of health, but then you're able to get up and move on. This is what is resilience. So it has resilience, especially during times of national disasters. Natural disasters and extreme weather conditions can cause severe disruptions in health services and consequently endanger lives in times of natural disasters. Guyana, in the recent flood situation, has demonstrated is vulnerable to natural disasters. And as such, the Smart Hospital initiative is both timely and necessary. These are indeed forward-looking initiatives on the part of the Ministry of Health, which along with its several developmental partners have been very proactive in terms of improving both access to health care to the Guyanese people and the quality of such care. Thank you, Mr. President, Dr. Irfan Ali, Minister of Health, and the entire government of Guyana. It is no secret that despite several interventions by the ministry to upgrade the quality of health care delivery, much more remains to be done. Many who could afford will rather go to a private hospital to take care of their needs. These are all manner of allegations made by the members of the public over long delays in getting treatment at public institutions. I'll read that back. There are all manner of allegations made by members of the public over long delays in getting treatment in public health institutions, especially at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. Some of the concerns raised have to do with the attitude of the health professions, which border on issues of professionalism and in some cases work ethic. Now, before I go further, I must make it clear, if you have 50 people suddenly arriving in a hospital, there will always be a number 1, a number 2, a number 3, a number 4, and a number 50, according to how they arrive. And if there are serious emergencies, then they are given a priority, friends and families, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this delay at hospital is not necessarily that the staff are bad, from my experience. My mother-in-law took very sick recently, and we went to they had to call into the best hospital. But I was shocked at the communication and the style and the interest of the general staff in trying to help her. She was having heart issues, stomach issues, and they were able to stabilize her. So I want to be very fair and very kind, and these kinds of things are normal. The other day, I thought I had a heart scare in New York, but it was a stomach problem. When I reached the hospital, after they realized also it was that I had quite a long wait. It was not a heart. If it was a heart, then they would have done faster. So I had to wait by 2 to 3 hours. Sometimes you have to wait 6 hours. People told me they waited 24 hours in New York and other parts of the United States. So waiting at the hospital is not necessarily because the hospital is bad or the staff is bad. But yes, we do have some rude staff. Like everywhere in the world, I had son took once the Brookdale Hospital in the Brooklyn area. And there was a nurse from the Caribbean who was extremely pompous, walking down like she was a military officer, humiliating people. I took it one day. I was a little boy, my little son, Dr. Rochinal, and I had to, the second night, I waited and calculated for her, and I teared down on her. And she calmed down then. I told her I was calculating for you. You think you're a military officer, you're a servant here, and you're put to serve the people. And then she behaved herself. Well, the same thing will happen in Guyana and every country, ladies and gentlemen. There will always be some people who are genteel, ethical, and most professional, and some who are pompous and rude. You just have to know how to deal with them. There is perhaps a case for more work to be done in terms of customer care by the healthcare professionals. So they have to give training to these youths, customer care, communication. They need more training, more work. And the thing about it, our nurses in Guyana, no matter how much you pay them, no matter what benefit you give them, they always want more. But that's typical of employees around the world. This is not to take away from the vast number of hard-working and dedicated professionals, many of whom work beyond the normal call of duty. In our public health system, we have some amazing nurses, some amazing doctors, nurses that I was shocked to see, like I said, at Best Hospital, sometimes at the public hospital, how elegantly, how beautifully, how carefully they will take care of you. Imagine they have to take care of hundreds of patients, sometimes thousands per day, and then go home with their own pain and depression, and so much of pain might have passed on to their own psyche. So we have to be sympathetic to our nurses, our doctors, in the public hospitals and areas, who work sometimes beyond the call of duty. And this is the reality of life. In fact, the government has allocated $400 million payment for nurses in 2021. $400 million payout for nurses for exemplary services during the COVID-19 pandemic. So the government has given, obviously will be given more. People are never satisfied for their sacrifices and work in servicing the people, taking care of the people during the COVID-19 pandemic, which we are still into. This is in addition to an overall 7% increase to all public servants. Now, this 7% increase, they have shown, that in the Caribbean, we are higher than most of them. But also, some of the nurses and some of the teachers have been calling for a tax-free 7%. And I'm saying yes. But I think the government of Guyana has a surprise for all of us when they will be doing the budget, ladies and gentlemen. They have a big surprise for us. I'm pretty sure they come out with that and make everybody feel beautiful. The 7%, I'm pretty sure they will make tax-free, or they will raise the threshold to above 7%. I didn't receive no internal information, but knowing Honorable Ashley Singh, Minister within the Presidency for Finance, Babbar Jagdeo, and our amazing President, and our Prime Minister, Minister of Health, they will be fighting for something to give the people a better chance to be eased during these crises. So I think some good things are coming. Let's have some patience and don't shift the hands. Don't let them expose now what they're going to do. The fact is that the vast majority of Guyanese have little choice in terms of us accessing health care, and most end up at the public care facilities, especially the Guyana Public Hospital Corporation, which is the only referral hospital in the country. It is against this backdrop that the PPPC administration is seeking to modernize public health institutions all across the country. So yes, it is always difficult to please all the people all the time. And most people are rushing because of the income, economy, to the public hospital. We have to have a certain amount of patience. The editor-in-chief Tejram Mohabir of the Guyana Chronicle is designed to improve hospital resilience and strengthen structural and operational aspects through greener technology. So they want to use greener technologies. So that means what? Solar and so on. This approach is consistent with the low-carbon development trajectory of the country. And we know, since Dr. Barajak was president, he was on this low-carbon footprint, low-carbon usage, and so on. Apart from resilience and utilization of greener energy, it is also much more cost-effective and environmentally friendly. The PPPC administration has placed much emphasis on the upgrading of health institutions and facilities, and in training of doctors, nurses, and other health professionals, and billions of dollars are being spent annually on the procurement of drugs and medical equipment. In fact, the health sector has received the largest budgetary allocation due in part of the COVID-19 pandemic. But more fundamentally, to reach a point in which Guyanese receive the best health care in the Caribbean. This is the philosophy of the reality of the government that we have elected, and a government that is recognized by the world, supported by the world. And to conclude, the Smart Hospital Initiative is yet another step in that direction, for which the PPPC administration must be given credit. As mentioned earlier, this is indeed forward-looking. This is indeed a forward-looking initiative, and it's only a matter of time before more and more institutions come on board. So, let us pray for our government, regardless of which party you're affiliated or supporting. Let us remember, this government of Guyana is the government of the people, for the people, by the people, and recognized by the world. On this topic, your friend, your brother, Smart Hospitals, me, Haji Dr. Roshan Khan, is saying thank you for tuning in the Raw. And I'm your friend, your brother, Haji Dr. Roshan Khan. Farewell, friends.